Hello and welcome to our channel. Today we're diving into the oldest and largest park in the Xcaret family. Xcaret Park is a fantastic destination to consider if you love nature, exploring different cultures, or are traveling with kids. The name Xcaret doesn't just refer to the park. It also refers to the entire company, Grupo Xcaret, which operates several hotels and attractions across the region, including the park's Xel-Ha, Explore, Senses, and more. In the Mayan language, Xcaret means small inlet, and it's often called the grand jewel of the group, making it an excellent place to start if you're new to the Xcaret family of parks. Because the park is so big and has so much to offer, our video ended up being quite long. Feel free to use the timestamps to jump straight to the parts that interest you most. And before we continue, please subscribe, like, comment, and share this video with your friends. It helps others discover our channel. We'd be very grateful. Unlike the other parks of the Xcaret group, which lean toward high-energy activities and hands-on adventures, Xcaret Park invites you to slow down and take it all in. The vibe is relaxed and culturally rich, highlighting Mexican heritage, diverse local wildlife, and nature at every turn. What makes Xcaret Park special is that it brilliantly merges its natural jungle surroundings with the excitement of an amusement park. From the moment you arrive, you'll find yourself immersed in a lush, tropical environment set beside a stunning Caribbean inlet. With over 50 eco-friendly activities available, you'll have endless opportunities to explore the park and learn about its incredible wildlife and local culture. One of the park's greatest strengths is how easily it entertains families with kids of all ages. A wide range of activities keeps young explorers busy, and a dedicated kids zone adds another layer of fun. You're probably wondering if you can squeeze everything into a single visit. Well, you can certainly try, but it's a challenge. Xcaret is one of those places where there's always another path to follow or show to catch. We've personally visited the park 4 times and spent 4 full days here, and still felt like there was more to see. While it's not impossible to see everything in one trip, you'll likely end up rushing past something truly amazing. In this video, we'll focus primarily on the activities included in your ticket and share what we managed to pack into those 4 visits, so you can plan your own perfect day without feeling rushed. The easiest way to buy tickets is through Xcaret's official website or app, where you'll see 3 options: General, Plus, and Total. General admission covers entry, all regular attractions, and the evening Mexico Espectacular show. Plus adds a designated area with lockers, changing rooms and toilets, as well as a full meal at any of the multiple park restaurants. This is hands down the best value, in our opinion. Total gives you everything in plus 1 optional extra activity. We'd skip it unless there's a specific add-on you already know you want, because you can book extras once you're inside. When you buy tickets on the website or in the app, you can add round-trip transportation. An Xcaret bus will pick you up from your hotel or a designated meeting point and bring you back in the evening. During the ride, the staff will hand out admission wristbands and a waiver to sign. The trip from Cancun to Xcaret Park takes about 1 hour and 20 minutes. The arrival and check-in at the park are quick and hassle-free. Your guide will explain everything to you during your bus ride and take you right to the park entrance. After passing through the turnstiles at the entrance, a live harpist might welcome you. We were often greeted with this beautiful music on most of our visits, though unfortunately, the musician wasn't there on our last visit.
van a seguir
Next, you'll enter the main plaza building, where your Xcaret journey begins. If you're hungry, a restaurant serving breakfast is located right near the entrance, behind the big aquarium. Just follow the delicious aromas and welcoming staff. And here you are, the starting point for all adventures that lie ahead. Whoever designed Xcaret's navigation system deserves a big round of applause. When you first enter the park, you'll notice a central starting point on the ground where the color-coded lines begin. There are 6 of them, and each is dedicated to a specific theme, allowing you to simply follow your chosen path and enjoy its activities. Each color represents a distinct route. The black line leads you to the underground rivers, wildlife encounters, and the ancient Mayan archaeological zone. The blue line plunges you into the world of marine life and aquatic attractions. The green line takes you to natural pools, ideal for snorkeling, along with beautiful beaches and tranquil inlets. The red line leads to some more of those Caribbean sea beaches and a host of water activities at extra cost. The white line is dedicated to Mexico's rich cultural and historical heritage, featuring immersive interactions with birds and butterflies, and the chance to observe jaguars and pumas. The brown line offers a deeper dive into Mexican culture, arts, and history, ultimately leading to the spectacular night show. If you know where you want to go and can spot it on the park map, simply follow the corresponding colored path. These lines, combined with ample signage, make it hard to get lost. Plus, the park has a handy app you can download, which comes with an interactive map to guide you, along with information on the park's activities and their schedules. We highly recommend downloading the app and using its map, as it proves incredibly helpful throughout the day. The download link will be in the description below. Ultimately, how you explore the park comes down to personal preference, so it helps to decide ahead of time which activities interest you most. As you wander the trails, you're very likely to spot some coatis on your way. These playful little furballs are native to the Yucatan Peninsula. They're super curious and undeniably cute. To reach either the general locker area or the Xcaret Plus designated locker area, you'll follow the black line on the floor, as we are doing now. You'll pick up your locker key at the check-in counter, which helps keep your belongings secure while you explore. The locker area in the Xcaret Plus section is spacious, with plenty of lockers, a gift shop, and drinking water stations. The lockers are large enough to hold a pair of shoes and a medium-sized backpack. Xcaret Plus also includes a separate building with changing rooms and restrooms, styled in the shape of a large conch shell. Since we are already on the black route, let's continue exploring it. The black route, also known as the river route, is the park's main trail and the usual starting point for most visitors. It links the underground rivers, the Paradise River, archaeological sites, and several animal exhibits. In fact, it's the longest path in Xcaret, crossing almost every other route at different spots. The black route begins at the main plaza and guides you straight towards the Xcaret Plus area. Along the way, you'll pass the horse exhibition field next to the Jalisco restaurant, several cafes offering snacks and drinks, a side path leading to animal habitats, and the entrances to the underground rivers. You've got 2 ways to experience those rivers. The underground river swim, which is a unique journey through natural caves and waterways. Or the Paradise River, which is a relaxing boat ride through a scenic river. We'll start with the underground river swim, as it's one of Xcaret's most popular attractions. Xcaret has 3 underground rivers: the Blue River, the Manatee River, and the Pre-Hispanic, or Mayan River, All three flow into the sea and belong to the same underground system beneath the Yucatan Peninsula, but each offers a slightly different mix of open-air stretches, dark caves, and striking rock formations. Life jackets are provided for safety and are mandatory. If you bought an Xcaret Plus ticket, you can use a separate river entrance right behind the Xcaret Plus area, which leads to a different river from the one accessed midway along the Black Route. Keep in mind that this is not a lazy river. You won't get an inner tube, and there's no strong current to carry you. Instead, you'll put on your life jacket, pick up snorkel gear if you like, and swim the entire route under your own power. The river is a good length, so plan on spending at least an hour from start to finish, depending on how quickly you swim. It's fairly deep, too. We're pretty tall, and about half the time we could touch the bottom, but some visitors probably won't. Also, water levels were low when we went, so it's usually even deeper. The river snakes through almost the entire park, and you'll find exit platforms every 100 meters or yards, so you can hop out whenever you like. If you feel tired, or if something piques your interest, and you want to take a closer look and explore the area. Lifeguards patrol the route and check in regularly, so safety is well covered. The river can get crowded, so be prepared. Many guests aren't strong swimmers, so they tend to cluster in one spot, move slowly, or hang on to the rocks and safety ropes. If you're hoping for a proper swim, expect a workout. You'll need to keep a steady pace and occasionally speed up to weave around other people. Multiple photo stops along the route add to the bottlenecks too, as groups pause to pose if they've bought a photo pass. Just a heads up before you dive in. The water in the rivers is crystal clear, teeming with fish, and lit by sunbeams that slice through the blue. Absolutely gorgeous. You can see that a few shots in our video look a little murky, but that's only because we swam right after heavy rain, which stirred things up. As you drift along, you'll weave through caves and tunnels draped with dangling tree roots, slip beneath waterfalls, and glide past attractions like the Mayan Village and other postcard-worthy corners of the park. The river we took last time even ended with a tranquil float through a mangrove forest. It was absolutely magical. If you're planning to experience the park's underground rivers, a waterproof phone case is a must-have. You'll want to capture the stunning scenery as you glide through the waterways. All the underground rivers converge and lead to the Caribbean Sea, so your amazing swim will finish close to the beach along the Red Line. If you prefer to stay dry or just want to take things slow, try the Paradise River. You'll glide past the same dramatic rock formations and jaw-dropping scenery. Only this time, you'll be lounging in a boat instead of swimming. It doesn't replace the underground river swim, but it offers its own gorgeous, laid-back vibe, so we recommend doing both if you have time. To reach the Paradise River from the entrance on the Black Route, you'll walk through the jungle for about 15 to 20 minutes. This journey is an experience in itself, as along this jungle trail, you might encounter plenty of wildlife, like this group of cute peccaries relaxing in the shade. You'll also get a preview from above of the stunning river. As you follow the tropical jungle trail toward the Paradise River, you'll discover the Natural Museum of Orchids and Bromeliads, which is a working greenhouse rather than a traditional display. Most of the plants here are local. Of the 105 orchid species native to the Yucatan, 89 grow in this space, including several that are endangered. Inside, the climate is carefully controlled so the orchids and bromeliads can thrive. It's a quiet spot to pause, listen to the soothing jungle sounds and gentle background music, and take a closer look at the variety of shapes and colors on show. The greenhouse also has a practical side. Xcaret's botanists propagate rare species in vitro and reintroduce healthy plants to the wild, helping preserve regional biodiversity. If you have a few minutes to spare before moving on to Paradise River, it's a worthwhile stop. As you follow the jungle trail, glance over at the swamp sprinkled with water lilies. Tiny toads like to hide there, and you might get lucky spotting one. About halfway in, the path splits. A quicker route heads straight to Paradise River, while the longer loop gives you more time in the jungle and a better shot at meeting extra wildlife, like this adorable family of local coatis. The park is huge, and some activities like the underground river swim can easily take an hour or more. Paradise River is the laid-back, shorter and drier option. You step through a cave, board a comfortable raft, and drift along clear channels instead of swimming. Paradise River is a more relaxed alternative to the underground swims. You stay dry and comfortable, while still immersing yourself in the natural beauty around you. Instead of paddling through caves and tiring yourself out, you simply sit back and enjoy a peaceful raft ride along crystal clear waters, where fish and other aquatic life dart below. The ride moves at an easy pace, giving you plenty of time to relax and take in the wild beauty around every bend, from overhanging vines to the distant calls of jungle birds. The river winds its way through lush tropical jungle, into echoing caves, past beautiful rock formations, and alongside Maya-themed installations. As you float, soft music played on traditional Mayan instruments drifts in the background, with some interesting commentary along the way, in both Spanish and English. It's a simple, relaxing way to enjoy the park's setting without breaking a sweat or getting wet. And the beauty on this ride is just breathtaking. It truly feels like a hidden piece of paradise. Keep your eyes peeled. There's wildlife everywhere. You might spot darting fish beneath the surface, blue crabs edging along the shore, iguanas lounging in the sun, or even monkeys swinging between branches. A little farther on, you'll pass right past a flock of brilliantly colored red macaws, which are gorgeous birds with a screech that could wake the jungle. Towards the end of the ride, the river slips into a candlelit cavern. And further on, another in-cave surprise awaits. A waterfall pouring from the rock ceiling, with bright rays of sunshine piercing through. This is an almost otherworldly scene that caps off the journey. Paradise River is perfect if you'd rather admire Xcaret's waterways without taking a swim. The pace is slow, the seats stay mostly dry, and guests of any age or mobility can settle in and enjoy the view. This ride provides unique perspectives of the park's landscapes and the underground river system. The ride itself takes about 20 minutes, but you might wait another 5 to 10 minutes before it, while the crew gathers the rest of the passengers. After Paradise River, you return to the Black Route along a scenic jungle trail that passes through a cave. And a few cool surprises, like this bright pink band of flamingos. If you skip the jungle trail, or just don't happen to see coatis there, don't worry. You'll still have plenty of chances to run into these curious little bandits. They often patrol the black line near the cafes and trash bins, sniffing around for scraps they can swipe. Because they are used to people, they're a lot bolder here than their fully wild cousins, so you can watch them up close as they rummage for a snack. Coatis are close relatives of raccoons, but have longer snouts and ringed tails. They're native to the Yucatan Peninsula and feel right at home in Xcaret Park. Spotting them has become part of the park's charm. That said, please resist the urge to feed them or any wildlife you meet in the park. Handouts can upset their diet, make them rely on visitors, and even prompt aggressive behavior down the road. Enjoy the encounter, snap a few photos, and let them find their own jungle treats. To keep exploring the Black Route, backtrack a bit to the intersection across from the underground river's entrance. Then follow the path off to the side. This section feels like an open-air zoo. As you wander, you might spot monkeys, tapirs, deer, raccoons, bright pink flamingos, and plenty of other wildlife. The animal habitats blend into the landscape, designed to mimic each species' natural environment as closely as possible. As you follow the trail, you'll come upon the deer refuges on both sides, giving you a close look at these graceful animals. The two species you're most likely to spot, both native to the Yucatan Peninsula, are the elegant Yucatan white-tailed deer and the smaller, shy Yucatan brown brocket. Along the trail, you'll come by Monkey Island, home to a lively troupe of spider monkeys. Because these agile acrobats are native to the Yucatan, the island feels more like their backyard than an exhibit, and they'll eye you with the same curiosity you're giving them, sometimes while swinging up high in a blur of arms and tails. Sadly, spider monkeys are listed as endangered by the International Union for Conservation of Nature, thanks to habitat loss, hunting, and the illegal pet trade. Many of the monkeys here were rescued from those very situations, and Xcaret now gives them a safe, natural setting to call home. Keep your eyes on the treetops even after you leave the Monkey Island area. Spider monkeys often roam the surrounding jungle, leaping from branch to branch. Next, you'll reach Raccoon Island, home to a playful little band of native raccoons. Most are Mexican or Cozumel raccoons, which are smaller than the North American variety, but every bit as inquisitive and adorable. You'll often catch them rinsing something in the water or rummaging through leaves for treats, especially early in the morning and late in the afternoon. Many were rescued from threatened habitats, so while they're comfortable around people, it's still best to watch them without offering food. Keep an eye out for tapir territory, also called the Refuge of the Friendly Tapirs, where Xcaret has carved out a roomy, jungle-style home, complete with water pools, mud wallows, and dense vegetation. The residents here are Baird's tapirs, the largest land mammals in Central America and southern Mexico. They look a bit like stout pigs with short trunks, yet they're actually more closely related to horses and rhinos. Unfortunately, Baird's tapirs are listed as endangered. Their numbers have dropped sharply because of habitat loss, hunting, road accidents, and diseases picked up from livestock. Many of the animals at Xcaret were rescued and can't return to the wild, while others are part of a breeding program that helps keep the species' genetics healthy. In the wild, they're shy and mostly solitary, but the tapirs here are used to visitors and will often lounge by the water or shuffle past the viewing area without a fuss. You might not spot every animal on a single visit. After all, they have their own routines and tend to hide out during the hottest part of the day. Although the bright pink flamingos are always around for you to take that cool photo. Xcaret maintains a thriving flock of flamingos, and you'll often spot them along the Black Route, near the underground river exit or on the walk back from the Paradise River. The park also supports conservation programs to help protect these striking birds. As you make your way through the trails, keep an eye and ear out for birdsong. A variety of native species flit through the jungle canopy, giving you plenty of chances to catch them in their natural setting. After the animal encounters, the Black Route winds past a few small archaeological sites that are well worth a pause. Xcaret sits right on top of the ancient Mayan port of Playa, and the park has blended its ruins into the landscape instead of fencing them off. Playa, whose name comes from pol, meaning merchandise or deal of merchants, was a busy coastal hub. Its natural inlet made it perfect for loading and unloading canoes that carried goods all over the Yucatan and as far south as Honduras. It was also the launch point for pilgrims paddling across to the sacred island of Cozumel. So as you stroll by these tumbled stones and low walls, you're tracing the same shoreline that traders and pilgrims used centuries ago. Another layer of history folded right into the park. You might be so captivated by the park's other attractions that you barely notice them. But the ruins of Playa are genuinely authentic and scattered throughout the park. You can navigate them using the park's signage and maps. Keep following the Black Route, and you'll come to an inlet that offers extra fee activities like fish therapy pedicures and stingray encounters. A little farther on, the trail opens up to Manatee Lagoon. The manatees here are rescued West Indian manatees, animals that needed help after injuries or habitat loss. Xcaret now provides them with a carefully managed and safe home. There are plenty of viewing areas where you can see these peaceful giants gliding slowly through the water, munching on floating veggies, as they are primarily herbivorous, or resting at the bottom of the lagoon. While Xcaret Park lets you observe manatees as part of regular admission, its sister park, Xel-Ha, offers a hands-on option. For an extra fee, you can join the manatee encounter, where you'll feed the animals, hold a flipper, and hear insights straight from the caretakers. We tried and filmed this amazing experience ourselves, so if you'd like a closer look at these gentle giants, check out our video about Xel-Ha Park. Apart from all that exotic wildlife, you might even be lucky enough to meet the king of them all. Just outside the Xcaret Plus area, you'll find the clearing where the Papantla flyers perform their ritual several times a day. If you've never seen it, make time. It's one of Mexico's most striking living traditions. The dance, known as Danza de los Voladores, or Dance of the Flyers, dates back to pre-Hispanic times and is now recognized by UNESCO as intangible cultural heritage of humanity. This ceremony is still performed today, most famously by the Totonac people from the region around the city of Papantla in the state of Veracruz. According to legend, the ritual began during a devastating drought. Villagers staged the ceremony to persuade the gods to send rain and restore fertility to the land. Here's how it goes. A tall pole rises, representing a cosmic tree, connecting the sky, earth, and underworld. 5 performers climb to the top. 4 of them, the flyers, represent the 4 cardinal directions and the elements of earth, water, air, and fire. Ropes tied to their waists unwind as they launch themselves head first, spiraling slowly toward the ground. Each flyer makes 13 turns. Multiplied by 4, that's 52 revolutions, which is the length of a full cycle in the ancient Mesoamerican calendar, representing the completion of a cycle and the renewal of life. The 5th man, the leader, stays on the tiny platform up top, playing a flute and drum in honor of the sun, the 4 winds, and each of the cardinal directions. His music keeps the rhythm and maintains the spiritual link between earth and sky, while the descending flyers evoke raindrops falling to nourish the fields. The whole performance runs for about 20 minutes, blending acrobatics, prayer, and centuries-old cosmology. If you catch it, you're watching a vivid request for balance between people and nature, and a reminder that culture here is every bit as alive as the surrounding jungle. As you stroll the black route near the Grand Plaza, keep an eye on the railings and low tree limbs. You'll often find Scarlet Macaws lounging there, completely untethered. They have food and water stations within reach, so they're content to watch visitors come and go before flapping off to a higher perch. These birds aren't just for show. They're the ambassadors of Xcaret's long-running macaw breeding and reintroduction program. Since the early 90s, the park's biologists have hatched more than 1,000 chicks in a dedicated breeding center. Once the young birds learn to fly and fend for themselves, Xcaret works with conservation agencies to release them into protected jungles in Chiapas and Veracruz, places where the scarlet macaw had all but disappeared. Hundreds have already been returned to the wild, and field teams monitor nesting sites to confirm that the new populations are breeding on their own. So when a macaw eyes you from a few feet away, You're not just meeting a photogenic parrot, you're meeting the success story of a species making its way back to the Mexican rainforest. Just across the main hub in the Grand Plaza, and practically next door to the Jalisco restaurant, you'll see the arena for the horse exhibition. If you nab a table on Jalisco's terrace in the evening, you'll have a front row view. We'll take a closer look at this beautiful show and get into more details when we cover the brown route, so keep watching. The white route, also often called the Mayan Village route, dives into Mexico's cultural and historical heart, spotlighting Mayan traditions alongside some fantastic animal encounters. Along this path, you'll come across the Mayan Village, where live cultural performances and hands-on workshops bring ancient traditions to life. You'll also pass a traditional Mexican cemetery and visit the Aviary, Butterfly Pavilion, and the Puma and Jaguar Islands. Heading out from the main plaza, just follow the white line. Even before you reach the village, the walk feels like an attraction in its own right. The trail winds through thick jungle where twisted tree roots arch over the path like natural doorways. It slips into cool caves draped with hanging roots and waterfalls. And at several points, you can peek through rock windows to watch the underground rivers flowing below. Between the pockets of lush greenery, you'll spot art installations that echo Mayan daily life, spirituality, and cosmology. Keep going, and just when the caves seem to close in, you step into the Mayan village. The Mayan village at Xcaret Park takes you a step back in time, giving you a feel for what day-to-day life was like for the ancient Maya. Unlike Pelé's genuine ruins, this is a reconstruction designed to spotlight Mayan architecture, crafts, and culture. The settlement is made up of several small, thatch-roofed houses, built from the same natural materials the Maya used. They sit in the middle of thick jungle growth, and a branch of the underground river winds right past their doorways. Just the kind of setting a historic Mayan community would have called home. Tucked right in the heart of the Mayan village, and in the middle of the river, is a small island stage. By day, it often sits quiet, waiting for evening shows. But when performers arrive, it comes to life with pre-Hispanic music, storytelling, and ritual dance. We've missed the pre-Hispanic dances on our last few visits. Yet during the Festival of Life and Death, which is Xcaret's big Dia de Muertos celebration, we caught the spectacular dance of the seven gods there. Masked dancers in feathered costumes leapt across the stage, while drums echoed off the jungle walls. It was a powerful goosebump moment. If you're planning a daytime stroll through the village, keep an eye on the park schedule, or ask a guide when the next performance is slated to begin. And if you want a taste of the nighttime magic, check out our Day of the Dead video. You'll see highlights of the Seven Gods dance and get a sense of how Xcaret turns this tranquil spot into a full-blown celebration once the sun goes down. Wandering through the little houses in the Mayan village, you'll meet artisans keeping age-old skills alive. One hut might have a woodcarver shaping masks or tiny animals. Others showcase bead and seed jewelry, woven hats and straw bags, hand fans, intricate drawings on bird feathers, or clever trinkets carved from coconut shells. Follow the path to the far end, and you'll find a small shop packed with spectacular handmade items like feathered masks, jaguar heads, painted skulls. Plenty of temptations worth a closer look. The village is set on several levels. Down by the river, a couple of homes are staged to show everyday Mayan life. Most of the other houses double as open studios, so you can watch the work in progress and buy a finished piece on the spot. Several huts also host short, hands-on workshops, such as pottery painting, clay modeling, wool crafts, coconut shell carving, and even chocolate making. They're included with admission, but check the posted schedule so you arrive in time to join. We tried the chocolate workshop and loved it. First, we were told a quick history of cacao and its importance in Maya culture. Then, a step-by-step lesson that took raw beans all the way to a finished product. Grinding the cacao by hand was harder than it looks, which makes those handmade chocolate bars in the gift stalls seem very reasonably priced. It's an amazing, culturally rich experience that's well worth trying. And the sweetest part, you leave with your very own handmade chocolate. Just up the hill from the Mayan Village is Xcaret's Bridge to Paradise Cemetery. It isn't a real burial ground. It is an artful, deeply symbolic tribute to Mexican cemeteries and Dia de Muertos traditions, and it's easily one of the most moving spots in the park. Quick plug before we dive in. We filmed an entire video on the Day of the Dead celebrations in Cancun and Xcaret Park, complete with local voices and traditions. So give that a look if you want the full story. Back to the cemetery. Everything here is built around Mexico's view of death as a continuation, not an ending. Something to honor and even celebrate. Right under the main entrance to the cemetery, there is a cool chamber with lots of burning candles. The structure itself is built on 7 levels, one for each day of the week, or the 7 stages of spiritual ascent, and is reached by 52 steps, a nod to both the 52 weeks in a year and the 52-year cycle of the ancient Mesoamerican calendar. Remember the ceremony we mentioned with the Papantla flyers? This cemetery is home to 365 distinct tombs, each one unique and representing a day of the year. This signifies that every day is a day to remember someone, and that death is a constant, universal part of the human experience. Also, each tomb is a miniature work of art, reflecting a different region, profession, hobby, or personality, alongside countless other creative and often humorous designs. They are adorned with vibrant colors, mosaic tiles, unique sculptures, and traditional folk art, often accompanied by playful epitaphs. The styles and themes of the tombs often draw inspiration from the diverse cemeteries found across different states and communities in Mexico, beautifully showcasing the rich variety of Day of the Dead traditions. A pro tip: keep an eye out for tiny cave openings along the paths. Each one hides something different. Maybe a small altar. Maybe an artwork tucked into a limestone nook. And when you spot a larger stairway leading below ground, follow it. you'll end up in a stunning chapel directly beneath the cemetery, centered on a huge cross surrounded by 365 flickering candles. It's a beautiful place to soak in the symbolism and snap a few photos before heading back up to daylight. Just up the hill from the cemetery, right after you exit the underground chapel, you'll come to the Chapel of St. Francis of Assisi, perched on the highest point of Xcaret Park. The chapel feels wonderfully calm. It is an open-air structure with shaded benches lining the space, so it's a perfect spot to duck out of the sun and let the breeze roll through after wandering the grounds. Up front, you'll spot a striking cross, made from the trunk of a chico zapote tree, a fruit tree native to the region, with the face of Jesus carved into the wood. You can even catch a glimpse of the Caribbean Sea from up here. If you start feeling a little hungry from all that cultural exploring, there is a great spot on the White Route to relax and recharge. Right between the cemetery and the Mayan Village, you'll find a bakery, or panaderia, with freshly baked treats, and a nice little cafe called Cafecito, where you can grab a good coffee and recharge a bit. Just around the corner is the clay workshop, where you can either get your hands dirty making a souvenir or browse the rows of whimsical pieces other guests have left behind. On your way to the bakery and cafe, you'll pass a Temazcal, a traditional sweat lodge long used by indigenous peoples of Mexico and Central America. It's not included with admission, but you can book it at the kiosk across the path if you'd like to try it. The ceremony, led by a shaman, takes place inside a low, dome-shaped hut. Inside, stones are heated and doused with water and herbs, filling the space with aromatic steam. The word itself comes from the Nahuatl Temazcali, meaning house of heat, and the ritual is said to clear negative energy, release emotional blockages, and, thanks to all that sweating, help detox the body too. As intriguing as it sounds, we've never worked up the courage. It's already hot and humid out here, and we're not quite ready to crank the thermostat even higher on our tropical vacation. But if you're curious, the option's right there on the way to your pastry fix. Once you've fueled up with sweet bread and coffee, or steamed away your stresses in the Temazcal, you'll be ready to keep exploring. The next stop on the White Route is the Aviary, a lush sanctuary teeming with hundreds of tropical birds, and easily one of Xcaret's standout attractions. Right at the entrance, you'll likely be greeted by a few colorful Scarlet Macaws. You'll spot these showstoppers all over the park. The aviary itself is huge. It's a multi-level dome that recreates several Mexican ecosystems under one roof. Well, mesh. Pathways, ramps, and hanging bridges wind through the space, carrying you from the treetop canopy down to the forest floor. At each level, you get a different angle on a vast array of Mexican bird species. Waterfalls tumble in the background, and a steady breeze slips through the netting, so the place sounds and feels like a slice of the real jungle. Between the bird song, the mist off the falls, and the greenery spilling from every ledge, it's easy to forget you're still inside a park. If you're looking for that wow moment of immersion, this is definitely one of Xcaret's highlights. The aviary houses an incredible mix of more than 1,500 birds from over 90 species, nearly all of them native to Mexico. Feeders and little water stations are tucked everywhere, so flashes of color are constant. A bright yellow one here, a tiny deep blue one there, with a lot of featured surprises strutting across a branch. As you wander the different levels, hanging bridges and ramps carry you past curtains of waterfalls and out onto overlooks, where you can take in the whole leafy scene and its feathery residents from above. It's gorgeous, but it's also a lesson in biodiversity. Info boards along the path give you quick facts on each species, their habitats, and why protecting them matters. You'll spot scarlet and green macaws everywhere in the park, especially in the aviary, because Xcaret has made them the centerpiece of its conservation work. The park's Scarlet Macaw reproduction and reintroduction program twice earned Guinness World Records for most macaws born in a single facility: 105 chicks in 2011 and 132 in 2013. But breeding is only half the story. Once the birds are strong and trained for life in the wild, many are released into protected jungles in Veracruz and Chiapas, helping rebuild populations in their native range. Wandering through the aviary is an explosion of color and sound. Feathers flashing, calls echoing, and greenery so thick, it feels more like the jungle than a park. And be sure to glance up now and then. Many winged residents prefer to watch the action from the treetops. In a secluded section for endangered species, you'll find the sacred quetzal behind glass. One look at its emerald plumage shows why it's considered one of the world's most spectacular birds. Revered for millennia, its name comes from the Nahuatl quetzali, meaning precious. Male tail feathers, long and iridescent, once adorned Mayan and Aztec headdresses. Killing the bird was forbidden, so hunters plucked plumes and set it free. Those feathers also symbolize Quetzalcoatl, or Kukulkan to the Maya, the feathered serpent god of creation, wind, and life. The god was often depicted as a serpent with quetzal feathers. So even through glass, meeting a quetzal feels like brushing against living mythology. In this secluded section of the aviary, you'll also meet a gorgeous, bright yellow toucan, curiously looking down from above. Further along the way, before you move on to the next level of the aviary, you'll get to see large birds of prey behind a protective mesh, for obvious reasons. As you descend further, the birds you encounter will progressively increase in size. On our last visit, we found two enormous pelicans calmly drying their feathers, letting people stand just a few feet away. Pretty amazing, and honestly speaking, even a little intimidating given their size. Every bird here looks healthy and well-fed. And because they're used to visitors, they act naturally, so you can watch them up close. Some will even come check you out, like this curious little duck that waddled over to inspect us. Just before you leave the aviary and head to the next attraction, the Butterfly Pavilion, you'll reach a picture-perfect spot. A waterfall framed by natural rock and thick greenery. It's the ideal place to snap a quick photo for your feed before moving on. Next up is the Butterfly Pavilion. It is designed as a natural sanctuary where hundreds of native butterflies can thrive and complete their life cycle. To reach this attraction from the aviary, you'll pass through a picturesque jungle trail filled with blooming flowers, and even catch some views of the underground river along the way. If you're lucky, you might even spot these cute little creatures called agoutis just hanging out there. They're related to guinea pigs and kind of look like them too. The last time we visited, we got to see a sweet protective mom and her youngsters sniffing around. You reach the Butterfly Pavilion through a little cave and rope curtain, then step straight into what feels like a living greenhouse. The place is a huge dome filled with lush plants, a couple of splashing waterfalls, and blooming flowers. Exactly the kind of warm, humid setting that local butterflies love. Hundreds of them glide everywhere you look, with more than 20 native species in lots of colors, from electric blue morphos to familiar orange and black monarchs. Because they feel at home here, they're fearless. They settle on leaves, trees, walls, and sometimes even on curious visitors who hold still or wear something brightly colored. Several feeding trays piled with fruit sit along the paths, so you can lean in and watch wings slowly opening and closing as the butterflies sip the juices. And before you leave, head up the staircase to the second level, where even more species flutter through the upper canopy. You can catch species up high that you'd never notice from the ground. As you follow the white route, you'll reach one of Xcaret's most striking features, the jaguar and puma habitat, often called Jaguar Island. In reality, it's two separate islands split by a deep, water-filled trench and framed by waterfalls. A hanging bridge connects the banks overhead, giving you a great vantage point of both types of cats below. Pumas on one side, jaguars on the other. They say it's designed to mimic their natural habitat as closely as possible, with shaded areas, flowing water, and plenty of logs and ledges for climbing. But by looking at this puma, which is obviously calculating its escape options, it seems like even the best designed habitat can't quite match the open wild. Like many animals here, these big cats came through rescue and rehabilitation programs run in partnership with Mexican wildlife authorities. So while this space can't perfectly match untouched jungle, it offers the animals a secure second chance and gives visitors a rare opportunity to observe these powerful predators up close. Pumas, also known as mountain lions or cougars, are native to this region. They're smaller than jaguars, but lightning quick and remarkably strong. Most times we've visited, at least one has been prowling the enclosure, easy to spot as it paces or stretches near the waterfall. Jaguars, on the other hand, play hard to get. We were lucky to meet these majestic creatures only once, when a pair finally emerged from the shade. Even then, we caught only a brief glimpse, just long enough to appreciate their incredible beauty. Jaguars are the largest cats in the Americas, deeply significant in Mesoamerican cultures. They were sacred to the Maya, who called them balam, and viewed them as spirits protecting nature. Xcaret houses both the classic spotted jaguars and the rarer melanistic, or black variety, that people often call black panthers. If you want the best chance of seeing either cat, don't forget to step onto the hanging bridge between the two islands. From up there, you get a wider view of this truly beautiful terrain and a different angle for a better shot at spotting these elusive predators. If you head back to the main plaza from the white route, take a moment to go up to the roof. Up there, you'll find a miniatures exhibition called Discover Mexico that offers a scaled-down tour of Mexico's most famous landmarks, pyramids, colonial churches, and other iconic buildings from around the country. It's a fun photo spot and a quick way to visit several historic sites all at once. Throughout the day, there are different shows and performances happening in multiple spots around the park, so definitely keep an eye out for some extra surprises. We were lucky enough to catch a couple of beautiful live performances of traditional Mexican dances and music. Next up is the Blue Route, which branches off the Black Line just after the animal enclosures. Often called the Aquarium Route, the Blue Route focuses on the incredible marine life of the Mexican Caribbean. Along this path, you'll wander through Xcaret's big aquariums and other sea-themed exhibits, all set up to spark curiosity and underline why marine conservation matters. Getting there is half the fun. The trail slips past a small archaeological site, complete with a compact Mayan pyramid tucked into the jungle. Then it opens onto the exhibits, giving you a window into the Caribbean's underwater world, with no snorkel or dive gear required. The first marine stop on the Blue Route is the Coral Reef Aquarium, a spacious, air-conditioned hall loaded with tanks of every size. Inside, you'll spot a kaleidoscope of reef fish, living corals, bright anemones, starfish, and even a pair of shy seahorses hovering at the back of the glass. It's a perfect indoor breather between the park's outdoor highlights. The aquarium isn't just a lineup of fish tanks. Each section recreates a specific Caribbean reef zone. You'll move from the dim blue of the deep reef up through the shallow reef and finally to the sun-splashed reef crest. You'll see hard and soft corals of different shapes and colors, with lots of colorful fish weaving through the rockwork. Some exhibits are open top, so you can lean in for a close look at different types of fish, shellfish, sea urchins, and other reef dwellers. No touching, though. This area has several benches, so you can sit back, enjoy the cool air, and soak up the undersea views before heading out to the next round of aquatic marvels. A few massive panoramic tanks let you watch larger fish cruise by, giving you that feeling of being on the sea floor without the scuba gear or even getting wet. The whole exhibit is mesmerizing. It's a perfect spot to hit pause, cool down in the AC, and stare some truly unusual creatures straight in the eye while you recharge. There's one open tank that lets you lean right over starfish, sea cucumbers, and some slow-moving mollusks. And another one holds the most adorable pair of seahorses, clinging to corals or slowly drifting through water. Just look at how cute they are. As you exit, the path winds past two mangrove displays. One small, one larger, highlighting how these tangled roots shelter young fish and protect coastlines from storms. It's a quick reminder that even the swampy edges of the sea play a huge role in keeping reefs healthy. And by the way, the aquarium itself is more than a showcase. Many of the corals on display here were rescued after hurricanes or grown on site for reef restoration projects. So while you're enjoying the cool air and vivid colors, you're also getting a glimpse of Xcaret's behind-the-scenes work to help the Caribbean bounce back. Once you step out of the aquarium, the path takes you past the shark exhibit. You can watch these sleek swimmers from the deck above, and then duck down to the underwater windows for an even closer look. The sharks that you can see here are nurse sharks, which are a bottom-dwelling, docile species, making them safe for observation. This exhibit provides a chance to see these impressive creatures up close, watching their behavior while learning about the part they play in the marine ecosystem. And if you're feeling adventurous, Xcaret offers a paid add-on where you can hop in and swim with the nurse sharks under a guide's supervision. A little farther along the Blue Route, just past a souvenir shop that also stocks snacks and cold drinks, you'll come to a mangrove nook with a small waterfall. And then the Sea Turtle Sanctuary. Here you can watch turtles at every stage of life. Tiny hatchlings paddling in open pools, and large adults gliding through the lagoon. Xcaret's turtle program is one of the park's oldest and most important conservation efforts, helping protect and repopulate these species throughout the Mexican Caribbean. Xcaret sits on the coast of the state of Quintana Roo, where 4 of the planet's 7 sea turtle species come to nest. In the park, you'll usually spot 3 types of them: green turtles, loggerheads, and hawksbills. Depending on the season, you might see everything from hand-sized juveniles to bigger subadults, and even full-grown adults cruising by. Those sightings aren't accidental. For more than 20 years, Xcaret and the nonprofit Flora, Fauna y Cultura de México have run one of the country's most successful sea turtle programs. Every nesting season, which is roughly May through October, their staff and volunteers patrol 13 beaches along the central coast of Quintana Roo. They mark nests, fence off vulnerable ones, or gently relocate eggs to safer corrals when tides, predators, or nosy tourists pose a risk. Once the eggs hatch, most of the hatchlings head straight to the sea, but a select group enters an initiation program inside the park. For about 15 months, these youngsters live in special tanks, growing large and strong enough to survive in the wild. When they're ready, Xcaret hosts a release ceremony, and the turtles get a second debut into the Caribbean. Over the years, millions of hatchlings have made that journey thanks to the project. In 2010, Mexican authorities also certified Xcaret as a sea turtle rescue and rehabilitation center. Injured or stranded turtles, like victims of boat propellers, fishing gear, predator attacks, or simple dehydration, arrive at the park's on-site hospital for treatment. Most return to the sea once they're healthy, but a few stay on as permanent ambassadors, living out their days under expert care while reminding visitors why this work matters. Keep an eye on the water across the bridge from the turtle pools. You might catch a Morlet's crocodile drifting in the shallows. It's a master of hide and seek, so you won't always spot it. But give the water a quick scan just in case. Out of our 4 visits, we only spotted it once. Morlade's crocs are local to the Yucatan and nearby regions of Mexico, Belize, and Guatemala. They're smaller than the American crocodile, usually between 7 and 11 feet long, or 2 to 3.5 meters, but still impressive enough to make you grateful for the sturdy railing. Keep following the blue line past the Turtle Lagoon, and you'll merge onto the green route, where a tranquil inlet awaits. Here you'll find loungers for relaxing, calm water, perfect for a quick snorkel, a kiosk with snacks and cold drinks, and a path that leads straight down to the shoreline. The green route, also known as the beach route, is Xcaret's go-to for pure Caribbean downtime. This stretch leads you straight to the park's coastline, where quiet inlets, natural rock pools, and broad sandy beaches invite you to slow down. After doing all that active exploring, this is the perfect spot to unwind and enjoy some swimming, snorkeling, or simply relax and take in the views of the Caribbean Sea. The water here is calm, shallow, and pleasant, making this a wonderful swimming spot for people of all ages. You'll find plenty of lounge chairs and palapas, offering shaded, comfortable places to relax. There's also a snack shop where you can grab an icy drink to make the moment even better. The Snorkeling Inlet is a fantastic place for an easygoing underwater experience. Its clear, still water is ideal for beginners and anyone who prefers a relaxed snorkel. Drift over the rocks, and you might spot colorful reef fish, crabs, and other marine life. Snorkel gear is available for rent or is included with Xcaret Plus admission from a nearby palapa. Just a little to the left of the Snorkeling Lagoon, there are plenty of hammocks strung between palms with white sand below. And just a little further still, rows of palapas with loungers. These are perfect spots to kick back and stare out at that endless blue. If you keep walking, you'll pass a couple of quiet inlets. The water here is calm, life jackets are right there on the racks, and it's a nice place for a lazy swim. The trail eventually fades into the jungle, so when you're ready to explore more of the park, you'll need to return to the main lagoon. Along the path, you'll also find several beach view restaurants and rows of loungers under palapas, providing the perfect setting for a leisurely meal or a midday siesta. A quick tip: if snorkeling's on your must-do list, we recommend you slip into the water first thing in the morning while it's still empty and peaceful. The inlet gets busy fast once the day heats up. Following the green route to the right from the lagoon, you will reach the White Sand Beach, which is a beautiful stretch of soft white sand, where you can relax, sunbathe, or build sandcastles if you like. The beach is protected by the inlet and breakwaters, ensuring calm, clear turquoise waters perfect for swimming, even for families with children. This stretch of the green route also offers a few add-on underwater adventures at extra cost, like Sea Trek, where you walk along the seabed in a clear helmet that keeps your face dry, while you breathe naturally and watch fish and stingrays glide by. We tried the same setup at Xcaret Park and broke it down in a video. Check it out on our channel if you're curious. Keep following the path, and you'll arrive at another lovely stretch of sand where the trail merges into the red route. The red route, also called the Dolphin route, focuses on unique aquatic encounters and stunning views of the Caribbean Sea. It's the park's shortest trail and the farthest from the main entrance, located on the shoreline. Most activities here are paid add-ons, but the route still has its own perks. One of the most famous attractions on the Red Line is the Dolphin Experiences. These aren't included in your general admission and come at an additional cost. Xcaret, through its partner Delphinus, has been offering various programs for interacting and swimming with dolphins for a long time. However, there's a significant change coming. As of June 2025, Mexico has adopted a new law that prohibits the breeding of dolphins in captivity. It also bans their use in shows, entertainment, and any activity not directly related to conservation or rescue. This new legislation is called the Mincho Law, named after a dolphin that was severely injured during an acrobatic tourist show at a Riviera Maya hotel back in 2020. It's important to clarify that this particular incident didn't happen at any of Xcaret's facilities. In fact, many of the dolphins you might have seen at Xcaret were born right there, under human care, as part of their successful breeding program with Delphinus. They even hold Guinness World Records for the number of dolphin births in human care. However, once the Mincho Law takes full effect, it will impact all dolphinariums across Mexico, including the one at Xcaret. Essentially, any dolphin enclosures operating for profit or commercial purposes will no longer be permitted. Other paid activities on the Red Route include Adrenalina, a high-speed jet boat ride that whips through 360-degree turns and sudden dives. Parachute parasailing, which sends you soaring over the Caribbean with panoramic views of the park and coastline. And the snorkeling tour at the Ina Coral Reef, where you can admire the coral formations that are part of the Mesoamerican reef system and other marine species. You can book any of these extras at the kiosks along the path. Along the Red Line, you'll find several bars and restaurants with sweeping Caribbean views. Just a short walk away sits a stretch of natural rock pools and a big chill-out zone with sandy flooring, hammocks, and plenty of lounge chairs. The pools themselves form where the sea filters through the rocks, creating calm, clear basins that feel like giant saltwater jacuzzis. They're shallow enough for wading and perfect for watching the tiny marine creatures left behind by the tide. Where the red and black routes meet, you'll also find a jungle spa, offering massages with a lagoon view and the sound of waterfalls. Perfect if you're in the mood for some extra relaxation. Just note, it comes at an additional cost. The brown route at Xcaret Park is often referred to as the Mexico Espectacular route, and it's the path that immerses you in Mexican culture, art, and history before guiding you to the park's signature evening show. The Mexico Espectacular show really is a must-see, so don't leave it off your schedule. The Brown Line opens with a recreation of a typical 19th century Yucatecan Hacienda, a grand estate that thrived during the green gold era of henequen, or sisal fiber production. It provides a glimpse into the colonial past of the Yucatan, showcasing the architecture, lifestyle, and economic history of the region. As you head down the path, on the right, you'll see a small blue agave field with bronze figures of Our Lady of Guadalupe and a humidor harvesting agave. It's a quick nod to Mexico's most iconic plant and its equally famous spirit, tequila. On the left stands the yellow chapel of Our Lady of Guadalupe. This beautiful chapel is a tribute to Mexico's patron saint, the Virgin of Guadalupe. Step inside and you'll see her image carved from a tree and set above a natural cave formation, creating a truly unique setting that feels both earthy and sacred. It's a quiet spot to cool off in the shade and collect your thoughts. Maybe snap a couple of pictures for your social media. Next to the chapel stands a red colonial-style building, Hacienda Henequenera. that houses the Museum of Popular Mexican Art. Inside, you'll find a remarkable mix of folk pieces from every corner of the country. Vibrant textiles, hand-painted pottery, traditional toys, religious figures, and plenty more. Each one showing off the creativity and diversity of Mexican artisans. True to colonial design, the building wraps around an inner garden where additional art installations add a quiet, open-air gallery feel. As you continue along this route, you'll come across the park stables and a maternity ward for Xcaret's Azteca horses. It's a neat way to peek into where these beautiful animals are raised and receive their care. This area also ties right into the horse exhibition, which you can conveniently watch from the nearby Jalisco restaurant. Also known as Fiesta Charra, this event is a lively tribute to charreria, Mexico's traditional rodeo sport, and a UNESCO-listed cultural treasure. Skilled Mexican cowboys, or charros, in embroidered jackets and wide-brimmed sombreros, guide purebred Azteca horses through precise footwork, rope tricks, and other classic maneuvers. Despite the name, Azteca horses aren't ancient. They're a modern Mexican breed prized for agility and grace.
Y acuérdate, charro, que en el floreo lentitud y al amarrar.
Equally jaw-dropping are the escaramuzas, teams of women gracefully riding side saddle in colorful Adelita dresses, weaving intricate, high-speed patterns in perfect sync. The performance is often accompanied by a live mariachi band, turning the whole arena into a moving postcard of Mexican folklore. The show takes place in Xcaret's Mexican Corner, a hacienda-style setting that suits the theme perfectly. It usually kicks off around 5:30 p.m. and lasts 30 to 45 minutes. Just enough time to order a margarita, sit back, and watch Mexican horsemanship in full color. Near the end of the Brown Route, there is the Scenic Tower, designed to lift you high above the park for a bird's-eye view. Unfortunately, it was closed during our visit. We're not sure if that's temporary or permanent, but it's a pity. Those panoramic views would be amazing. The ultimate highlight of the Brown Line is definitely the Gran Tlaxco Theater, where the Xcaret Mexico Espectacular show takes place every evening. This is a breathtaking 2-hour performance that takes you on a journey through 500 years of Mexican history and culture. But before we settle in for the show, let's talk about something crucial: food at Xcaret Park. After all, a full day of exploring really builds up an appetite. The food at Xcaret is meant to spotlight Mexican flavors while keeping a few international favorites on standby. If you have a basic admission ticket, just know that food isn't included, so you'll pay for your meals as you go. However, if you opt for the Xcaret Plus ticket, which is the most popular choice for a full day, you get one buffet lunch at your pick of several main restaurants, along with unlimited soft drinks during your meal and one complimentary light beer per adult. For some reason, dark beer isn't part of the included package, but you can definitely order it separately if you prefer. Remember, the Plus ticket covers only that single buffet. If you plan to eat both lunch and dinner inside the park, be ready to pay for the second meal, which is around $50 per person. Most full-service restaurants in Xcaret run buffet style from noon to about 5 or 6 p.m. The Jalisco restaurant, located near the main plaza, stays open until 7 p.m., so it's the go-to spot for a sit-down dinner. If you just need a quick bite, smaller snack stands and cafes line the main black route. The main buffet restaurants feature an extensive spread, satisfying a wide range of tastes with both Mexican classics and popular international fare. They're positioned at convenient points all around the park, so you're never far from a meal. Many restaurants highlight authentic Mexican dishes, often with a focus on regional cuisine from places like Yucatan, Jalisco, or Oaxaca. Some buffets, especially those near the beach, like Baja California, specialize in fresh seafood. And every restaurant also maintains international stations stocked with familiar favorites, so there's something to please everyone. In our experience, the menus across the park feel pretty similar, with only slight regional twists, so you can't really go wrong no matter which restaurant you choose. Xcaret also offers special dining experiences for an additional fee. The best known is the Mexico Espectacular Dinner at Grand Tlaxco Theater, a 7-course gourmet meal with a Mexican twist, served at your reserved table right inside the theater during the night show. The package includes sparkling wine, 2 glasses of red or white wine, and unlimited soft drinks throughout the performance. It's a high-end experience that pairs top-tier cuisine with front-row views, and it does require advanced reservations. Another option is the wine pairing at Xcaret's Cellar. This isn't a full-course dinner, but rather a focused session that expertly matches Mexican wines with small, carefully prepared dishes. It's perfect for anyone wanting a deeper dive into the country's emerging wine scene. This experience takes place in the park's impressive underground wine cellar, a beautiful and unique space that makes the whole event feel truly special. During the session, you'll enjoy a 5-course wine tasting, featuring 2 whites, 2 reds, and a dessert wine, each thoughtfully paired with a chef-chosen dish or snack to highlight its flavors. We tried this experience ourselves and absolutely loved it. Our sommelier was incredibly knowledgeable and engaging. And honestly, the cave wine cellar is truly mind-blowing. Just a heads up though, finding the entrance can be a little tricky. It's tucked away inside the main plaza's souvenir area, right by that small cinema showing classic Mexican films, so the doorway isn't very obvious at first glance. You can reserve and pay for any of these premium dining experiences at the kiosk just in front of the Xcaret Plus entrance during the day. As evening settles in, it's time to wrap up your activities, drop off your locker key, be sure to do that by 7 p.m., and join the flow of visitors heading toward the night's main event. Xcaret Mexico Espectacular is the park's crown jewel, a 2-hour celebration of Mexican history, culture, and folklore, staged every night in the impressive Grand Tlaxco Theater. You'll find the venue right at the end of the Brown Route, making it the perfect finale to a full day of exploring and adventure. The show is included with your general admission to Xcaret Park. As the lights go down, the brown route heads back in time and transforms into a living pre-Hispanic setting. The professional dancers and actors from the park's cast line the pathway dressed as ancient Maya nobles, priests, jaguar and eagle warriors, drummers, and nature spirits. More than just a photo op, this is a living art installation that sets the mood for the evening show. It shifts you out of daytime theme park mode and into a more reflective, atmospheric space before the historical story begins. The fascinating costumes are handmade, and body paint mimics real Mayan glyph patterns. Drum beats keep a slow rhythm, and the smell of copal resin fills in the air. All elements used here are borrowed from actual pre-Hispanic ceremonies. Once the last drum roll fades, you continue to theater, and you'll see the same performers reappear on stage as part of the opening Maya sequences of Mexico Espectacular. So this dramatic walk isn't a sideshow. It's the prologue to the main event. The Grand Tlachco Theater, where the show takes place, is an impressive outdoor amphitheater, which is said to be one of the largest and most technologically advanced open-air theaters in Latin America. When you find your seat, you'll see a small candle on every other chair. Just before the show starts, a staff member comes down each row to light the first candle, and the flame is passed from guest to guest until the whole theater glows. The lights fade, and for one quiet minute, everyone sits in silence. It is a moment to honor Mexico's ancestors, thank the country for its rich heritage, and symbolically clear the stage for what's ahead. Xcaret Mexico Espectacular isn't just a show. It is an epic journey through 500 years of Mexican history and tradition, brought to life by more than 300 performers in stunning, authentic costumes. The show takes 2 hours and is split into 2 acts, with a brief intermission. Act 1 explores Mexico's pre-Hispanic heritage and the moment when indigenous and European worlds first met. Act 2 bursts into the colors, music, and dance traditions of the many states of modern-day Mexico. The beginning of the show delves into Mexico's indigenous heritage, particularly the Mayan civilization. It starts with a symbolic ritual dance representing the origins of life and the cosmos. One of the show's unforgettable highlights is the recreation of the ancient Mesoamerican ball game, which the Mayans called Poctapoc. Dressed in traditional gear, the players drive a heavy rubber ball through stone rings using only their hips. The tension peaks when the game shifts to a fireball version. The ball is literally set ablaze, turning the match into a spellbinding burst of sparks and motion. The story then moves to the arrival of the Spanish, portraying the clash and eventual blending of indigenous and European worlds that gave rise to modern Mexico. scenes sweep through a stylized retelling of the Mexican Revolution, tying the country's turbulent past to the vibrant nation celebrated on stage today. The Papantla flyers make an appearance during the evening show as well. Though it's a shorter version of the daytime ritual, it's no less captivating, so if you missed the full performance earlier, you still get a chance to see it after dark. The show is a lively, fast-moving display of Mexico's diverse folk traditions. It highlights the blend of colonial and modern influences through dances, music, and customs from different states across the country. The second half of the show dives into diverse Mexican folklore. You'll see traditional dances from Veracruz, Jalisco, Oaxaca, and other regions, as dancers sweep across the stage in a quick-fire parade of styles. Each costume seems brighter than the last, and every musical cue is deeply rooted in its own local tradition. You will hear the iconic sounds of Mexico performed by incredible corrido and mariachi artists. And even Mexico's famed horsemanship will join the celebration at some point. Throughout the show, you'll also see pre-Hispanic dances and rituals from several indigenous cultures, accompanied by the invigorating beat of hand drums, wooden flutes, and even conch shell trumpets that fill the theater with a haunting, otherworldly energy. Be sure to stay for the finale. The show ends with a powerful tribute to Mexico as every performer returns to the stage, creating a very beautiful and unforgettable moment that leaves you with a deep appreciation for the country's heritage. We won't spoil it here. You'll want to experience the wow factor for yourself. It's worth the wait. That's everything we managed to see during our 4 visits to Xcaret. We stuck to activities included in the general admission, with the wine tasting as our only paid add-on. There are plenty of other optional experiences you can explore if they suit your interests, and we're sure we'll be back again to try more. Maybe we'll even make another video. Did we see it all? Definitely not. We know we missed some things. The park is huge. So if you can't do it all in one day, don't stress. We couldn't cover everything in 4 visits, and we really tried. So here are some useful tips we picked up after several visits to Xcaret. Download the park app and use the interactive map. It's a lifesaver for understanding where you are and finding attractions and showtimes. Pack water shoes if you plan on any water activities. Your feet will thank you. Bring a waterproof phone case. You'll definitely want photos without worrying about splashes. Towels are not provided in this park, so take one with you. Carry a spare set of dry clothes. Between river swims and tropical humidity, you'll be glad you did. Bring a reusable water bottle or pick up Xcaret's own tin version with a shoulder strap. It looks great, is easy to carry, and can be refilled at the many water stations around the park. If you forget something, don't worry. Chances are you can buy it on site. Shops throughout the park sell water shoes, caps, towels, swimsuits, UV protection clothing, waterproof phone cases, and plenty of souvenirs. The main plaza is packed with stalls offering everything from snacks and drinks to handmade artisanal clothing. If you plan to spend the whole day in the park, Xcaret Plus admission is the best value, in our opinion. It includes access to a designated area with lockers and showers, snorkel gear, and one buffet meal. Buying the buffet separately will cost you more. You can book optional activities once you're inside the park. Sales kiosks are scattered throughout, not just at the entrance. No need to decide ahead of time or rush the moment you arrive. Bring a power bank for your phone, as there are no charging stations throughout the park, and you wouldn't want to run out of battery when there is so much going on. The evening show starts at 7 p.m., so aim to reach the theater at least 30 minutes early. That gives you time to choose your seats and enjoy the Pre-Hispanic Greeting. If you skip dinner, snack stands around the theater have plenty of grab-and-go options you can enjoy during the show. And that's a wrap. We hope this guide makes planning your Xcaret adventure a little easier. If you enjoyed the video, please hit like and subscribe. Both really help others find our content. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.